welcome back to the channel. So today I'm doing another top 5 video. It's been a long time since I've done one of these top 5s. But anyways, I wanted to talk about the top 5 scariest or darkest Ninjago scenes. These are all my opinion, and you'll notice a trend with most of these scenes that I'm going to discuss in this video. And I'll talk about that later in the video. But yeah, anyways, sit back and relax because now I'm going to be talking about my top 5 darkest or scariest Ninjago scenes. Let's get started. Alright, so the Overlord's initial metamorphosis into the possessed form of Garmadon will take number 5 on my spot. This scene was just plain scary, and it had no place in a LEGO show. However, this scene was amazing, as it showed the Overlord for who he truly was. He wasn't just some weird blob floating thing, he was actually a Dark Lord, and this scene really captured how scary the Overlord could be. And that's something that really isn't captured much at other times in the series. And other times in the series, we see the Overlord as a demon of sorts who wants to become a leader, who wants to become this conqueror, but we never really see him as horrifying and even visually scary. We never see him as that scary as we do in this scene. In addition, the soundtrack is also amazing. It's a haunting rendition of the Overlord's theme, and it's just a great soundtrack that really helps to make this scene all the more scary. Also, yeah, this scene was just horrifying. At least for me, I definitely noticed that the scene, back when I was watching it when I was younger, I definitely noticed that the scene, certainly, as I've already said, did not have a place in the LEGO show. And not to mention, it actually breaks the rules of LEGOs with the fingers. But yeah, anyways, this scene was just amazing, and it really was scary. Up until, for the initial plan, which was, of course, the pilot, Season 1 and Season 2, I think this is definitely the scariest scene. So we got another Garmadon scene, but this one is more centered on Garmadon as the true villain, and this one is from Season 8, and is essentially the ending of the battle between Lloyd and Garmadon, and it is the infamous "I have no son" line. This line was just really, really chilling. I mean, it was all the more scary because, Garmadon had been good for a while, and Lloyd had finally gotten used to that, and he had accepted and made peace with his father's passing. But suddenly that is just destroyed when Garmadon suddenly comes back from the dead and is evil and proceeds to beat up his own son. And remember, Lloyd had once had a great relationship with his father when he turned good. And the thing with this battle, and even this scene, is it essentially destroys all of that. And that is what is so scary about this. I mean, it's scary to the viewer as well, because, for all of the reasons that I just listed, they're essentially, Garmadon's turning evil and coming back, and this fight also is essentially just destroying the once good relationship that they did have after Season 2. And that is just really scary. Even for Lloyd, I mean, just imagine that. It's really, really scary. I mean, the father that you've, again, accepted peace with, accepted his death, and suddenly he's back and beating you up and telling you that he has no son. That's just really haunting. So yeah, the "They Were Never My Parents" scene from the Lloyd vs. Harumi battle in episode 81 will take 3rd place on this list. Following the implementation of a darker tone in Ninjago Season 8, Harumi was probably the most important character who helped to bring this tone forward, and if not for the way that she was developed, I don't think Season 8 would have been as dark as it was. Pretty much the idea is that this is explored through how she feels towards her adoptive parents following the death of her biological parents. And the way that it's just done in this scene is truly horrifying and truly haunting. The Emperor and Empress clearly weren't the perfect parents. I mean, as explored in the canon side book Secrets of the Sons of Garmadon, they were definitely too strict on her, and they weren't really comforting after Harumi lost her real parents, and that definitely affected the way that Harumi grew up as a child. And even though the Emperor and Empress weren't the best parents, they still did take her in, and that was very nice of them anyways. And for Harumi just to claim that they were never her parents and order their killing is just truly heartless, and that is essentially what is explored in this particular scene, where Harumi just lashes out at Lloyd, claiming that they were never her parents, while she waves a knife like a crazy person. But yeah, anyways, this is just truly a horrifying scene that really shows how crazy of a character Harumi is, and how dark Season 8 really is if you think about it. I mean, you have Harumi who is killing adoptive parents who actually did take her in and gave her a chance, and that's just really haunting. And in 2nd place, we have another Harumi scene, and this scene is essentially the aftermath of the bounty destruction in Season 8, when Lloyd and Harumi are on top of the monorail, and pretty much she tells Lloyd that how does it feel to see the end, and this is what I wanted, for you to lose everything. And again, that is why Harumi is such an amazing character and why she really helps to advance this dark tone that is introduced and expanded throughout Season 8. It's just really scary and really shows how sadistic of a character Harumi is, and that she takes pleasure in the sorrow and the mourning of others. I mean, Lloyd is clearly in an emotional state at this point, and she forces Lloyd to actually watch the bounty destroyed and to watch the presumed death of his fellow friends. And that is just truly sadistic and really scary if you think about it. I mean, that is why Harumi truly is a sadistic character and why she really works as a Ninjago villain. It's because she's so different. She's a really dark character, and I think she's probably the darkest character, the most scariest character in Ninjago, and I think it's just done perfectly how she tells Lloyd that she actually wants him to see the end and she wants him to lose everything. And, what's even more scary is how she takes advantage of Lloyd throughout the season, pretends to be his love interest, and then suddenly everything goes down. But yeah, for these reasons, this is why this scene is so scary to me. And in first place for the darkest scene in Ninjago, I have Mr. E's death or destruction. While the last two scenes were more dark or scary because of the emotion and stuff that was said, this one is just scary for what's actually happening and, also the visuals and how you would think about this. So pretty much in this scene, essentially, Garmadon is literally ripping apart Mr. E, who is pretty much by this point a friend of the other people, or maybe not Ultraviolet, but you understand what I'm saying. At this point, Mr. E is pretty much embraced by the other Sons of Garmadon generals as another general, and, presumably even built by Harumi. And, to just rip apart this guy, even though he is a robot, just ripping him apart in front of the other Sons of Garmadon generals is really, really horrifying if you think about it. And to be honest, it could have happened to anyone. It was just because of the plot convenience and, obviously they don't want to have a real human character being ripped apart. But it could have happened to anyone, and that's what makes this even more scary. Even at the end, Garmadon threatens to rip apart Harumi, which is furthermore proof that anyone could have been ripped apart and killed in this gruesome way. It didn't necessarily have to be Mr. E. Because of the visuals and even that final scene where Mr. E's head, that's right, he gets beheaded essentially, and ripped into parts, the final scene where Mr. E's head, just lying on the ground with that crack in it, is really, really horrifying. Even though he is a robot, and that is, again, it was a decision made obviously it is a kid's show, and they're not going to have a real human character getting ripped apart, but even for a LEGO show, the robot getting ripped apart, and Garmadon even threatening to rip apart the other people, is just really, really scary. It has no place in a LEGO show, but it really helped to advance Garmadon's character, set him up as a really intimidating emperor, and it was a great scene overall. As I said earlier, there's definitely a trend with where these darkest scenes are coming from, and for me, these darkest scenes have come after the movie, and those are in seasons 8, 9, and 10. Mostly 8 for me. I think that is essentially the darkest season of Ninjago, and as I said, it's mostly because of Harumi as a character. She's very sadistic, and that is, she was introduced to help advance this darker tone. And, this was intentional for sure. Tommy Andresen himself said that this would be next level Ninjago, and it truly is, and I'm really happy with the way the series is going. In terms of scariness, in terms of seriousness, even season 10, it's not as dark as the other two seasons following it, or, preceding it, but it's a lot more serious. It contemplates the meaning of survival, the meaning of life, and it is very serious in that way, and mature as well. So yeah, these are just my thoughts. Some other honorable mentions that I'm not really going to delve into, but I'll just bring up. Some other honorable mentions would probably be Moro's death, because he essentially is letting himself die and refusing to be saved. And probably the scene in episode 82 where they're essentially choosing who to save from drowning. But yeah, I'm not really going to talk about those, but those are some talking points for you guys in the comments. But yeah, thanks for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, share with everyone you know, and let me know what you guys think your top 5 darkest or scariest scenes of Ninjago are. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.